So, my car is in Land Rover for a service, so I thought I'd ride my BMX. So now I've got a puncher. That just about sums this week up. This is Heavy Trade, Behind the Build, episode 65. So welcome back to another episode of Heavy Trade Behind the Build. Thank you for watching Sunday's episode. If you've not, why not go and get it watched after this maybe. Hope you've had a nice weekend and a nice start to the week, guys. The weeks are just flying. So I'm downstairs in our unit at HQ in Stockport, and what we're doing, we've got a little bit of a downtime. So Danny, our estimator, the man that's too good looking to be on camera, has come down here and he's going through all of our tools, power tools, straps, jennies, sight lights, heaters, everything. And what we're gonna do is check every single item, number and label up every single item, put a little bit of spray paint on every single item, yellow, so we know it's ours, and then log it on a system, which I'll show you in a minute. Because what it is, we probably own tens of thousands of pounds of kit and power tools, small plant. It's probably getting up for 100 grand if you count the machines. And we haven't really got a good enough system to log where these things go. So what's happening is, the guys are coming in, taking it, going to one site, using it. We're booking it out to them via a paper system that we've got. But then they're then giving it to another guy who takes it to another site, not updating the office. So we're come, let's say for example, we're looking for this still saw here. We'll go, oh, where's the Hilti still saw? And then it's, we go, oh, it went out to Project Cranbourne. And then we'll speak to the guys at Project Cranbourne. They said, oh no, I gave it to John who's using it on Project 849, and so on and so forth. And it's a nightmare. We're forever having to try and track things down. So I believe that you should own your own equipment and your own tools, because when you need them right there that minute. It's good to have them. And if you hire them, you know, you're paying for something that ultimately you probably could afford to buy. So I like, and plus I just like owning stuff. So yeah, we own a lot of stuff. So much stuff that I can't even remember. We've got a big concrete poker here that we've had for ages. I bought it at auction, forgot I had it. And, you know, we could have used it last week when we were pouring concrete, but I forgot it was here. We've got 1, 2, 3, and there's one behind Hollywood there, generators that really we need to check, use, put them into service. Or if we're not using them, sell them. This is something else that we use quite a bit of. Every job when you go on a site and you're taking walls down, you're doing demo, you need to put a temporary board in. Now, I've been paying our Sparks to make these every time when we're actually rescuing them from jobs. That could go straight, I mean, it needs a bit of TLC to be fair, but that can go straight onto another job when we need a temporary board. My trusty Hoover. So yeah, the idea is Danny's going to go through everything as best he can and then itemize it. Hollywood, if you work your way through here, what I'm doing, I'm utilising, you've seen me use this software before, it's SmartQ, it's a ticketing system. Basically, it's for managing flows of projects, things like that. What it does is allow you to raise a unique ticket. So every single bit of kit we've got, we're picturing it, we're numbering it, and we're going to put it in here. And when it gets booked out, simply, all we do is we grab it there and then we drag it into the next stage, which means kit out. But if you go inside it, here, you will be able to mark down, obviously you see a picture of it there, we've got it pictured, so we know this is the bull float. You can mark out who's took it, when it got took, what site it's on, etc. You can also set set tasks to people, set dates for when it needs to be, I don't know, service or when it needs to be come back. Really simple. So I'm going to put this back into the yard now, into the unit, so we know it's there. It's a bit of a workaround, but it's the best we've got at the moment. We looked at actual inventory management software, and it's really expensive. It's going to take loads of implementation onboarding. So for now, it's cost us an extra $8, because it's American, to add Danny onto this. He's gonna, me and Dale are already on it, because we also use it to log all our fleet on there as well. That's on another board. So if you look here, we've got vehicle logs and Dale's tasks. All the vans and all the trucks are in here, all the service records, when the tax is due, when the MOT is due, etc. They're all on there, bang. So, as I say, it's a workaround, but it is working. It's going to take a while. We're going to clean everything off. Dale's going to come back in. We've got a list of stuff that we think maybe needs a bit of attention, maybe needs repairing, or even just scrapping. We're going to work through everything, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're done. And the good thing is, YouTube holds us accountable. So if we don't do it and we don't show you, let us know. Remember, Project Grange, Adam and Eve brought it up to damp. Well, at the moment, they're getting the mesh for the slab and getting the slab prepared, because later on, and we'll bring it in the episode, the Ray boys are going to come in and pour the slab so we can flow that in. That'll be up to damp, which means we can crack right on. So we'll bring you that later in the episode. Project Greenbank in Liverpool. A lot of you guys have been asking about this. So that is going to be our lettings and sales shop that Lindsay, our amazing property manager, who you haven't met because she didn't want to be on camera, is going to be based out of. It's in a really great location. We're going to do a bit of an opening party when it's done, but it's been a bit of a hospital job because we've had so much client work and our own work on. However, the boys are back in there now, and Mr. Riddick is going to give you an update.
So welcome back to Liverpool, and we're on Project Greenbank, which is going to be our shop and our HMO upstairs. It's coming along nice inside now. I say we haven't been here for a while, so it's good to get going. Traffic's flying past, so you're going to be missing me. But yeah, this is all going to be coming off soon as well, which I can't wait, because we've already agreed what it's going to look like on the front, and we are waiting for it to be brought to site and fitted, and it'll all be getting stripped back, all new, and I can't wait for all them windows to go as well and be black and not white. So yeah, let's go and have a look inside and see how we're getting on. We haven't been in here for a while, and to be fair, we didn't really do much over the summer because we had all the move-outs, move-ins and stuff like that. We're getting last projects finished off to get tenants in, and as always, when you're trying to do something for yourself, because this is going to be our own office for 𝗕𝗏, it just gets put on the back burner because you're like, yeah, just do it next week, yeah, just do it next week, yeah, just do it next week. And anyone who's running projects and you have their own stuff, it's a bit like your own house. Like, you probably go to work on stuff, and you get home and your missus is like, oh, can you put that up for me, or you put this picture, oh, that's not working. You just sit there and the coach think, I'll do it tomorrow, because it's your own. Your mentality is, oh yeah, we'll do it. There's no rush, there's no pressure. But now we're putting the energy in to get it done, because I've told the lads it needs to be done. So this week they've had a good push on it. All the first fix M&E is on its way. Air conditioning pipes are all in, because we're putting 2 aircon units in, one in the main bit, one in this bit. This is going to be a bit of a pod. So you'll remember from last time, the bathroom is there. We've had a little rejig now and changed it round, because it just didn't really work. At the time we were rushing to try and get it done, whereas we've slowed down and I've had a little bit of thought about what we need to do and make it better. So we've changed our mind, and we're making this into a pod now, which is going to be like a glass room so people can come and have a chat. Obviously it'll be 2 desks I need to work on, one will be mine, and it'll be a bit more privacy if you need to speak to people one-to-one or stuff like that, and people can't hear your phone calls. Not that you keep anything from anyone, but just gives you that separation. And then also when we're taking in new customers and stuff, or tenants, it's not something where they can come in and hear things being discussed. They can obviously wait down the end. But yeah, so M&E, all first fix electrical's done, first fix aircon's done. Tom, the lead conner, or Thomas Cook, is back as well this week to get his pipe work in, albeit not a lot. He's only got to get his cold feeds into the kitchen and bathroom, and then just wire pipe in between, because we're going to put an electric hot water heater in the kitchen that'll do the hot water taps. There's no gas in here. There was gas, we're taking it out, as I say, because we've got the aircon units for heat and for cool. We have got a couple of electrical radiators dotted about too. But in terms of where we're up to, the R part's really done now. plasters are due as well the end of the week to start boarding and closing off everywhere. We've just got data to go in, so Kev, data lad, we had a meeting with him yesterday, just going through a lot of stuff, and he's got quite a bit to do in here, to be fair, to get everything where we want it, because we're trying to not go overboard but make sure we've got everything, so you can sit on a computer, show things on a screen as a demonstration, making sure we've got all the Cat6s everywhere, so we can do Cat6 over HDMI or HDMI over Cat6. So you can plug in a computer and show whatever you need to show. Same for like the screens going on by the front, where the shop front is. We're wiring Cat6 over to them, so you can update them consistently with new properties that are coming available, so it'll consistently change. The layout has changed a bit, as explained, and we've shifted everything this way just so we've got that one walkway. So what we wanted to do is, when you come in from the front, is be able to walk, so rather than zigzagging through all the desks, walk straight down to the back, or give you that full nice clear line sight rather than looking through and think what's going on. So when you look in, be nice and symmetrical. You'll have that nice big feature wall with a nice big LED light all the way down, and you'll be able to look straight through just to give you that depth of the office, to make it feel a bit bigger, because it's not that wide. It's a little bit smaller. We want to try and make the light come through as much as we can. That's why we put the lighting detail there, and make it feel nice and spacious, so everything's one-sided. You can walk up and down nice and easy. And as I say, this will be a glass pod which will be formed there, whether we use the aluminium supplier that we use to make it, or Preferred Joinery make it for us. Going to get the price on both. Obviously Preferred will be at cost because we own Preferred. We either do it at Preferred Joinery and make it out of timber and glass, or we use aluminium and glass to make the pod. As I say, we'll price both. Whatever works out the cheapest, we'll go for that. And yeah, so there you're going to have the toilet, which you'll walk around and come into the door, which will be there. And then in there, round the back as well, is the little canteen, which will be a bit of somewhere to sit on, like a breakfast bar area, and then just be like dishwasher, sink, microwave, air fryer, stuff like that, just at the back there. So it'll be like a breakout area, and then a door going out into the yard. In the yard, we're going to build another shed, which will be for all the maintenance stuff and stuff like that. Bits for the lads to charge stuff if they need to. Bits for Christian to leave stuff if you need to leave stuff, so it'll all be there nice and safe and secure. And then obviously downstairs is our training and meeting room. It's going to be a full new shop front. That door's going to go all glass. This has been ordered now, so should come in the next week or two, hopefully, maybe 3, depending on how we get on. But the whole shop front and the door for the upstairs HMO is all going to be in aluminium. We were going to put a composite door in, but the supplier that we're using said let's build an aluminium one, so it's all the same RAL colour, so when you look at it, it's going to look decent. And as I say, you'll walk into a counter and a bit of a sofa for people to sit on, be like a bit of a divide there. You walk through, and then you're going to have 2 desks back to back, another desk there with a wrap, printing stuff here. That'll be like an emperor sign of some sort. You can see the little lighting track that we've done, which is going to be lighting detail. There'll be an LED light lighting up that wall for the emperor sign and stuff, and then there we're going to have like our sort of screens and stuff telling us information about what's going on, any live maintenance that's coming in, any live leads, jobs, where we're up to on certain things just to do with sales and lettings. They'll be on that screen there, so it'll get refreshed all the time. So as soon as a tenant raises a maintenance issue, it'll be on the screen for people to see. If someone's overdue rent or there's rent due, it'll be all on the screen, so we know each day when people come in. It's easy to look at, even though you check yourself on the computer. It's just another point of interest to look at. And as I say, there'll be another desk here that comes round, and then downstairs in the basement, that should all be wired as well. It's mad how many times I walk around here now, and it feels though like we're always in that same sort of position, but it's been wired. So down here now, left to do is insulate, and that's it, because everything's in, all that's in. He's pulled that cable in yet, so, and we've got to do a channel tracker here, but no time sensitive on that for the plasters. So you see all the cables that have been pulled in now by Kev, the Spark. Again, we're going to resilient bar the ceiling, even though it's quite low, just to give us our sound protection, because we've got the hallway running across our head there for the upstairs HMO, so you'll hear foot traffic coming in, so to avoid that, resilient bar again. But inside here is going to be the meeting room, big screen on the wall. You'll have like a nice big meeting table in the centre, which is where this floor box is going. We're going to have a chase that'll come through to that, and we'll have obviously sockets to plug in laptops, computers, and then we'll have data as well, so we can then share screen from a laptop onto the screen itself, or we can put our comms phone in, which is like a meeting type phone where we can have like a meeting, or a Zoom type meeting where you can all speak on the one phone, like a conference. that'll plug in as well, all into the desk. In the corner, a little bit of storage, so we haven't got to have much on show. I want to try and make the office look clear of any stuff that you don't really need day to day, but stuff that you need to store will just go down here, nice and safe. Again, all the utilities are down here and they're staying down here out the way. And then all the cameras and stuff are going in there. We're putting cameras front and back, one inside, and that'll all get wired back to that as well. Same with all the TV boosters and stuff, all internet, all so yeah, it's coming along good. To be honest with you, I've been a bit thingy about this coming here, thinking, oh, not much has been happening because we haven't been putting no one on it, but this week we've had a good hit on it and it feels more exciting again now. To go, right, let's get it going again, the momentum's back. So in this bit it's moving, but upstairs have a little quick look now and see where we're up to. So yeah, stuff all over now because I've moved everything from downstairs up here that we need for jobs and stuff. Some rads that we'll be able to use on here that have been left over on other ones, but this is the floor that we replaced. It was all sunk in the middle, so we made the decision to just swap it for new. There's all going to be new floors in the main part, but this back bit is going to be a bedroom now. So I've sort of done the plans. I've been talking about it for days, haven't I, saying what we're going to do, how to fit it in, but I think I've got it working. So basically this back bit will be a bedroom and an ensuite to be formed here. Door, we'll step in just off the hallway and you'll walk into it. This window will probably get blocked up. That one made a little bit lower because over the years that's been raised, that so the sill is actually lower, so we're going to reopen that properly the way it should be onto the existing sill outside. It'll look nicer from outside as well rather than the way it's been patched up. But yeah, and then inside nothing else has really happened. All the timbers on the top floor ready to roll for the loft floor, and once Project Adelaide is a little bit further on, we're going to push onto here, get this floor in and start it in it. We're still waiting on a little bit of planning permission on the doorman as well because we've had to apply for that, so we're still, you know, still a little bit of time. And as I say, there's no pressure on the HMO to get done because the tenants aren't going to be moving until next July, so we've got ages. Not that I want to take that long to get it built, we want to get it built as quickly as possible, but at the same time, when we've got other stuff that takes priority, that's more time sensitive. The lads have just been going to them jobs, like the Jubilee jobs and stuff like that. So once we start coming to an end on all of these, then we'll start it in this a little bit more. But for now, when anyone's been available or free, just been sending them here. It's a bit like a hospital job, really, for us. And as I say, it goes back to me saying, when you own something and you've got no time pressure on it, you're just like, oh yeah, do it then. And there's no one really shouting at you in terms of a customer. It's like where you're up to, or why is this not done? You just sort of put it on the back burner and you go to where shout the loudest, as always. It's nice when you sit in jobs like this and there's no noise and it's all ripped out. And it reminds you of like some bars that you go to. Like I was in a bar the other week and they just basically ripped it out. It's actually on Lark Lane, and left all the floor joists, left all the plastered nails in and everything, and it just adds to the detail. So imagine leaving this like this for a tenant to live in. I'm saying it's the rustic effect. You're mad, wouldn't it? But maybe it was an Airbnb or something, you could get away with it. But yeah, so for now anyway, this job will start moving along now. Once the other bits have come along on Adelaide, Project Adelaide, upstairs up here will start rolling too. The plans we're waiting on anyway for the dormer, but we're still going to do all the inside works and get pushed on as quick as we can. The shop, we're now hitting hard to get it open soon as possible. As I say, the plasters are starting this week and it'll start coming together. Then it's only well, not a big space really anyway. So as soon as we get to the plastered stage finish and it's all done, ready to be painted, we can start focusing on the finishing side of things, then getting what we need in terms of furniture and stuff. So it'll be exciting once we get that up and running. And when the shop front's on as well, it'll be even better. It'll change the whole appearance. Still in two minds what we're going to do about the sign, whether we do an illuminated one with the Emperor or we do a bit more of a traditional looking Emperor sign with light shining down on top. So going to get a couple of that designs made up and then go from there. So for now, got to hand you back over to Manchester.
So you can see that project's moving on. Mr. Riddick's on his way over here actually, so we'll have a chat with him in a bit. We've also got this bad boy in, a little Fiesta bad boy racer car. This was for, actually used to work for us, Mateus has now gone on to pastures new, but we've kept on great terms with him. He's such a top lad. He needs a new radiator and obviously Dale's so busy, but we said we'll squeeze it in for him. We've actually been turning a bit of mechanical work down, which I don't like, just because we have to prioritise what Dale's doing and he's so busy looking after our plant and machinery. But yeah, it's nice to still having these kind of jobs in because the quick earners. We're going to do a good deal for Mateus, to be fair. But if you do need your car or van or whatever maintaining and repairing, we're now back in the market for doing that. We get calls all the time, which is great. We just need a bit more space up here and try and organise Dale's time, and eventually maybe take on someone to work alongside or under Dale. Now, I said before, Adam and Eve have prepped the slab at Project Grange. Well, the concrete boys, Ray Brothers, are on site pouring the concrete. So yeah, again, nice to bring that bit of that build to you. And in Sunday's episode, I'll try and get down there myself and talk you through the next stage of the job, because I'm determined to try and document that bit of the build. This is going to be another varied episode. I can feel it already. Dale's actually gone out to pick up one of our micro diggers from Project Rosewood. We've nipped back to do a little bit of amendments to the garden and the drains there. We're nearly finished there now. Once it's done and dusted, hopefully we'll get back there with Hollywood. We'll do a bit of a showcase so you can actually see the full project finished. That's weird, because that project there is one that was in the very first episode for those that have been watching from the start. And if you've not watched our first episode, go back and watch it. There's one guy at the moment, he's got an absolute marathon and he's commenting all the episodes. It's brilliant. And he's obviously found us now, and he's actually having like it must be, it's like 60 hours worth of footage. It must be more, but he's going through every episode. So I've just picked my car up from Land Rover. They basically booked me in for a security recall or something. Those that know, anyone that's tried to get a Range Rover, they're basically a nightmare in that they're getting stolen left, right and centre. So the insurance for these, when Alex and I we got them about a couple of weeks apart, and we were buzzing because we waited for ages for them, and then we found out that to get them insured it was going to cost something like 11 grand each. I mean, I've been driving for 20 odd years, literally next month, and yeah, how long am I? Yeah, 22 years next month, and the 11 grand plus I had to have a black box in the back of my car. It was ridiculous. So I'd had a curfew, I had to come in at 11 o'clock. So yeah, they tell me this new security update is sorting that out. But then I need to go back because there's a couple of other faults. And they said, oh, we can't get you in now till December for a half an hour appointment. December, because I was asking the guy why. I said, oh, we just haven't got any technicians. We've got no skilled people coming through. And I'm finding that it's happening across the building trade as well. There's not that much new skilled people. After COVID, loads of like the time served boys retired and left or just did other stuff, and the new blood coming through just doesn't seem to be there. And the thing is as well, I think I've spoken about this before, if you want to do apprentices and things like that, it costs you an absolute bomb to train an apprentice up, and then more often than not they just leave at the end and go and work for someone else for better money. So you put all that money into training them, you know, the days they don't come in, the time we're on the phone, on social media and whatnot, and you put up with all that, pay them holiday pay, pay them sickness pay, pay them off to be off at Christmas, and then they just leave. So yeah, we've just actually, both our apprentices, Mackenzie and Thomas, have just finished now their apprenticeship, pretty much wrapping up. So what we've done is we've put them both on new deals now. So they're earning good money, the pair of them, and we've plotted out a path for progression for them two, so that they know that if they stay with us, they could build their careers here. And I've said, I don't care how young you are, as long as you're good enough and you can earn us what we need to earn, we will pay you the going rate, if not better than the going rate. So yeah, it's good to see them through. And I realised what mistakes I made with apprentices in the past. We put all the investment in and just let them go. So yeah, busy day, let's have it. So yeah, hard at it. What I'm doing at the moment is great because things have calmed down with Project 849 and KTM, Danny, our kid Jay, TB, they're kind of running the construction side of the business. So what it's enabled me to do is spend some more time working on the bigger picture stuff. And it's nice. So what I'm doing now is I'm creating a manual of how to run the grab and aggregate side of the business, because I'm really going to work with our kid Jay to get him so he owns that side of the business in terms of like literally runs it from start to finish, knows how to literally order the material, sell the material, make sure the trucks are all maintained legal. That whole baby will be his. So I'm creating like a whole pack of literally broken down every type of material, so he knows what every type is. I'm going to create a handbook. So if he ever needs to ask anything or he's not sure of anything, the information will be right in front of him. I used to believe that everything should be digitised and that's all, it should all be on a screen. But I sometimes think that having something in front of you where you can flick through it will help loads. So yeah, well, I've started laminating, but we've run out of wallets. Like there's another example. I've drawn, as accurate as I can, the area in which we want to trade in, where we'll do grabs and deliveries to, because even though you could just draw a circle around the yard for say 20 miles, but it doesn't work because some places are really hard to get to because they're like, I don't know, deep in the countryside, and we just won't be financially viable doing a delivery there. So I've tried to really work out and nuance where we can trade in. I noticed that Dave from D&J's got something similar on the wall, and he's done it with like, I don't know if it's elastic or something, and he's stretched around his area. And it's a really weird shaped area, but it's thought about. We've also had a meeting about preferred joinery, and now we've owned preferred joinery for getting on for a year now, and it's really nice to see that what we've been putting in place, systems, sales, marketing, bringing new staff in, slowly but surely taking effect. And the business is a great little business, you know, it makes nice profit, and that's just based on what it is now, restricted by the amount of staff we've got and the limited space. But it's nice. And what we've done as well, we've brought all of our separate businesses onto one accountancy firm because they were with a different accountancy firm. So again, now we can work with our accountants to make sure that all the businesses are working in tandem. There's a few things that you can do with group structure, which maybe I'll go into at another time. But yeah, busy day, but it's nice to work on your company and not in your company. Project Dudley, the loft conversion job. Weather has been a bit of a nightmare. We are now semi-watertight, waiting for windows and stuff like that, but the guys, led by Phil, are cracking on inside and we're well into first fix phase. So yeah, this day is getting more interesting. KTM knocked a full cup of coffee all over my floor, so my office now stinks of coffee, and I hate coffee. And I'm getting wind from site. Charlotte's just messaged me after the concrete was done at Project Grange. We sent the baby grab over. Now, I don't want to throw somebody under the bus, but the same person that put the window through on my digger has managed to mount the curb, which is a bit of a no-no, and he's gone down a manhole. I'll deal with the consequences of the manhole afterwards, probably get a bill for that. It's fine, we've done it. But apparently the truck is stuck. Now, hopefully, we've got a bit of footage of this happening as it's happening right now, but the lads on site, I've told them to shoot it, because if nothing else, I'm going to turn it to positive and bring it to you. But yeah, at the moment, we've got a grab truck stuck down a manhole, which I've never dealt with before. So yeah, see how that develops. I'm just trying to get all the Dale. I'm going to scramble Dale over there, because if any man can, the human Swiss Army knife, Dale, will get it out. So yeah, try and keep, if that resolves in this episode, I'll try and keep you informed. Sound. So this is interesting. We've had an order come through from our friends at Baxenden Car Breakers. If you don't follow their channel, do it. It's amazing. Basically, earlier in the week, they bought some of the concrete boulder sort of, I don't know what you'd call them, because they're not concrete blocks, they're the round things that are used for like stopping people getting on car parks and stuff. James saw them in the background of one of our videos and asked me if I was selling them, so I did him a deal on them. We've dropped them off early in the week, and now they've ordered 2 loads of 6F2 for Friday. So if everything goes to plan, we might send Hollywood to film that there, but our kid just putting that through now. It is actually looking really, really busy on the grab and aggregate side, and I'm absolutely made up with that, because, as I've said previously, that has come from just a germ of an idea in my head, having watched D&J, Asheville and all those, and thought, you know what, I really like the idea of bolting grabs and aggregates to what we're doing already. But speaking of grabs, we are stuck down a manhole. However, the Swiss Army knife that is Dale is on site.
Back it, Dave. Drags again. So I just had a call from our grab driver. The baby grab, I believe, has fallen through a grid on the pavement. So I'm gonna have to try and jack it up. Got some steel plate, I'm gonna try and get it out of there. I might be able to do it off the supporting legs, but I believe he's tried that already. So I guess we'll just see. I'll show you what the crack is. Just, yeah, it's not ideal, but these things happen. We will get it out. Yeah, successful job, quite stressful with it being, you know, a public area. How you go about doing that in the correct way is hard. You know, you put under pressure to try and get, you know, this, you get yourself out of this tricky situation. So you've just got to do what you can at the time. And yeah, we did it pretty quick timing. So yeah, I'm happy it's out, and I think the driver now is going to know what to look out for next time. Saves me a job. Well, don't want to take all my work away, but needs to be safe.
Look who's joined us in Manchester, Mr. Riddick. A lot of you guys have been asking for yard content, what's going on with the yard, and we haven't really mentioned it. We did do a little bit of filming in the yard this morning, but you probably noticed the majority of it was in one side of it. So what's happened is, remember, we were going to be leasing 2 different yards and then merging them into one super yard. Deal was done. Took us ages to negotiate with both parties. Got it done. Brilliant. Had the word faithfully from one of the landlords that we were going to be getting the lease that we wanted, and then the other one was done and dusted. However, last week got an email about 7 o'clock at night from the landlord of one side, who are a big, well-known company who have, you know, not had an issue with us till this point, saying they no longer want to lease that part of the yard to us, and didn't really give us any context, just said it's a business decision, that's that, and said basically get out ASAP, which isn't great. Now we've still got the other side, the side where the big mound is for processing, it was going to be our processing side. So now we've got a decision to make. Do we stick and just try and manage with that small bit, or do we try and resite the business elsewhere? I might add that we found out that they don't want us on that other side after we'd paid for a crane to come in, which you guys saw, which I got grief for about health and safety, and we paid for the electricians to come and move the cameras and stuff like that. So Al and I now are basically getting our heads together and working out what we want to do. We've noticed a couple of bits of land that don't seem to be in use, so luckily, because we've got the property side, Al is looking, we've spotted these bits of land, we can look on our software and see who owns it. So Al, you might want to just talk about what we're doing.
Yeah, so obviously the back and forth that we've always had with this landlord, and since day one though, it's been a nightmare really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
With what they wanted to do, what me and Chris have seen about probably 5 or 6 different pencil drawings of what they wanted, and it's always what they wanted, not what would be good for people who are already in there, existing tenants or new tenants coming in. So yeah, long story short, we've been looking, and there's a couple of sites around there that the council own and other old boy landlords own, and everyone in the area is doing similar sort of stuff with waste and waste recycle, and some have had waste dumped on there as well, one which the council own, one which someone doesn't. Chris went to speak to a landlord last week anyway, didn't you, to try and do the
I tried to do a deal so someone had it. What a big issue with the waste industry is that people will rent some land on a short-term lease, absolutely pile it to top to bottom. There's organised crime behind it. Pile it to the top and then disappear. They've obviously made money from the tipping.
Yeah, it's massive. So like down south it's even worse, but basically people who've already set up as like a recycle company, a lot of like, I'm not going to say the name of people, but people will set up and they'll either break into a farmer's field or put an opening in a hedge, or, as I say what Chris said, rent land or big sites off people, and he'll just fill it, and he'll advertise Facebook everywhere to take mixed loads of anything, not bother what the price is, and just, and it's just trucks going in. They'll even advertise to other people like us and say you can tip here, there's a proper tipping ground, this, that, the other, and then they'll get other people going in tipping and taking money.
It's happened to us, so it looked really legit. We put in a group when we first set out saying where are the local tips to Manchester, and then someone messaged us, we swapped numbers, rang us, sent us some permits over, and so we went down there. There was a guy in a high vis, everything, we paid him, did all that, tipped, and then the Environment Agency got onto us and said that's an illegal tip. We showed them all the evidence that we'd done what we tried to do, due diligence wide, and they let us off, and that was fine. But that it's an organised crime scam. But we're not like that, because we've got a very, very well-known brand in the local area and now on a national scale, so we won't risk that. But anyway, I went to see. So
that's like you looked at that, the same thing down there. They had a back pile of soil, clay waste and stuff, but then someone else took the site on and just filled it with anything. There's a photo that we'll show you now as I get that shown. That you'll see what it looks like from a satellite point of view. And you tried to do a deal to
I tried to do a deal. So the deal I did was we'd take it on a long-term lease. We would clear the site at cost to us, but they would need to give us a rent-free period. At first, they agreed to it because it was the perfect solution.
Like 200 grams worth of waste.
It's about 200 grams worth of waste, and the Environment Agencies are onto them now saying you need to clear it or we're going to basically take the land off you.
You can do CPO, can't you?
Yeah, exactly, compulsory purchase. So they and that's still going through. Anyway, long story short, negotiated back and forth, offered to buy it, everything, tried everything, and then they went, no, we don't want you, because they're worried about capital gains tax in the budget and things like that. And there's certain people you just can't do business with. So I've said, fine, really polite, let us know what happens, good luck to you. And they've not done anything with it. Tried that, looked at a few other yards, looked everywhere across Manchester, really spread our net out further than we wanted to go, and we can't find anywhere at the moment.
You went to look at one, didn't you? And it was a bit...
I looked at a really good one where the exact same thing's happened, where someone's loaded it, it's gone through court, they've cleared it, and we know the guy, and he trusts us because he knows the brand, and he said, look, you can have it, the money's good and everything, but I looked at it on the satellite images, it looks amazing, got there, and then there's houses surrounding new builds, and like, it'll get a permit, there's a permit already on it, we'd get a permit for it, however, I don't think you're ever going to work alongside.
It's not future-proofed. So like we'd go there, spend a lot of money moving the infrastructure there, and then you could be having complaints left, right and centre. It's just not worth the hassle. So
bottom line is, we've got a real dilemma on our hands where we've potentially got half a yard, which we could maybe make use of, but we're we're being pushed out of the other half, which is, look, we don't own that land, it's not ours. When you're the tenant, you haven't, and we are landlords ourselves, but we wouldn't treat tenants like this. You know, we'd work with people. So we're on the lookout maybe for a new yard, but also I'm going back and forth with the other company that we rent the other half off and see if I can do a deal with them. So at the moment, we're no further on. We put all this money into infrastructure, plant, kit, trucks. You know, as you've seen, we've been buying trucks. We're really throwing weight behind it, but we can't find a yard. So if you have got a yard in the area, then let us know. But at the moment, we're a bit stuck. So we're looking at Nimbus, our property software, and we're trying to tag up parcels of land that might be suitable, and then we can write to the owners and see if they'll let us rent it or buy it even, because we're open to either option. So yeah.
Obviously buying best.
But it pretty much sums this week up. We've had a tough week. This has been bubbling in the background for a couple of weeks now. And yeah, it's been weighing on my mind. I've not really been able to focus on much else other than this. But yeah, it's been one of them weeks. But we'll let you know if we make any progress in Sunday's episode. Yeah, it is what it is. This is business. We'll crack on. So if you like what you've seen, click the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, just check you are still subscribed, because apparently YouTube unsubscribes people. Come back on Sunday for another instalment, hopefully a happier instalment.
Don't do that no more, no?
No, I don't do that anymore now, because I'm copying what's his face, aren't I?
So you can't.
And then sometimes Hollywood forget to put the things on, but they'll come on. Click to watch previous episodes and all that jazz. Have a good week. See you on Sunday.